car alarm had woken me up. I was awakened in my own vomit. Naked, still lightheaded from last night. When I started walking, I noticed that my leg was badly injured. I remember I was at a house party. We were all drinking, having fun, laughing. What was I doing last night? Where is everyone gone? I was both starving and scared, so I grabbed a frying pan and some cans. Going outside to investigate, I saw this house's window was broken, so I went inside to see what was happening. It was barren, left. I needed some clothes badly, so I went into the bedroom to get dressed. There was not much left, but I grabbed what I could. A baklava, swim trunks and winter stockings. I guess this is better than naked. And in here I saw it. For the very first time I saw a dead man walking. Scared, I had to do what I never dreamed of doing. This has to be a nightmare. I grabbed his sneakers and went to see what is actually going on. My nightmares have become a reality. Zombies attack me from every direction. I had to be careful since I was injured. Slowly but surely, I got rid of them in this area, and I was getting pretty tired. I said I'm not going through an apocalypse looking poor, so I got a gold necklace and a gold ring to at least flex on them zombies. My ideal goal would be find a working car to get the idea of what's actually going on, but that task is quite difficult. I tried going inside multiple cars but no luck, until I found some keys on the ground. I didn't know what car they are from. I had to break this Jeep's window to try using them on it. It turns out that the keys aren't for it, but I found some keys in the car's glove department. But I wasn't that lucky since the car was stuck in between the trees. I couldn't risk the zombies hearing me, so I tried the rest of the cars, but without luck. My life flashed before my eyes as I entered this house. It was really close, and I need to be a lot more careful next time. Going down this road, I found a bunch of vehicles. Most of them were either locked or busted or missing a key. As the zombies kept attacking, I grew more tired with every encounter. I needed a car to drive away to a safe place. I found this car that was unlocked but missing a key. I thought this would be a nice place to spend the night. I cleared a bit of the zombies, but then I decided it's way too early to fall asleep. I will wake up in the middle of the night, which wouldn't be great, so I moved on. I checked on every single car, hoping that they would be the one, until one of the worst things that could happen happened. This zombie triggered a car alarm, and now every zombie in the radius would come swarming by. I was really not looking forward to that, so I just ran, and my leg hurt a lot, but I had to keep going, checking every car on the way, hoping. I used my hand to break this window and I scratched it pretty badly, and the zombies had just continued to pile on. They were coming from everywhere. I had no option but to escape through the forest and get back to the car I saw earlier to spend the night. That was gonna be one of my worst mistakes, as I hadn't realized that the horde was coming in because of the alarm, and that was just the start of it. I locked the doors and went to sleep, and I was awakened by a lot of them. And out of panic, instead of thinking and escaping through other doors, I just went out and ran, getting injured in the process. I was scratched and bleeding. Luckily though, I wasn't bitten, but the horrors didn't stop there. I chose the worst place to go, through this extremely dense forest, where I couldn't see absolutely anything and was bleeding, so if I meet a zombie here, it's over. Fortunately, I managed to squiddle through and reach the houses I was in before, closed the doors, cleared the house, patched myself up, and decided to rest since I was in so much pain I couldn't sleep. When day 2 started, I felt a lot more rested, which is good. I was patched up and ready to move on. I washed all of my clothes and myself and got a nice new clean shirt. I searched a couple of houses that I missed when I started, but found nothing that useful. I happened to stumble across this zombie that had a duffel bag, so I had to kill him so I don't have to carry this plastic bag anymore. It's time I get exploring, so I moved around to check out what's there to see. I searched a few cars and found some maps that I read and realized that the map is absolutely giant. It seems I'm just a small dot in a really big world, and I've just begun to explore it. But looting these houses, I met my first survivor, Keith. Him and I decided that it's best for us to group up. He told me how all of this began and what his goal is. I am more than delighted to have someone to go through this with. Keith will be a great friend. We first visited this auto car shop where we cleared it and found some keys, some stuff inside, but never the vehicle that is unlocked by that key. It was getting pretty late and I want to do some reading before going to sleep so I can learn mechanics a bit, so I can understand cars a little bit better. We found this car that was unlocked. We ate. I read, and then it was time to sleep. On day 3 we had breakfast early on. I had some leftover food and gave some to Keith, and we made our way to the diner that was right next to us. But I noticed that Keith was not following me. I decided I'm not gonna search for him, he knows this place better than I do. Next to the diner was a gas station. I couldn't resist eating gummy bears, beef jerkies and chips. I waited for Keith while I read in this closed room, or at least I thought it was closed until Keith scared the shit out of me. I didn't even know that there was an open door here, but I'm glad he's back. I marked this gas station on the map and moved along. We finally got to this car that I had keys for. I don't know which keys are for it, but we picked up some of them on the road. We finally have a car. It is in good shape too, and a lot of gas left too. I searched cars in the vicinity, but there was no luck. Going back to our car, I figured that I actually inserted the key and locked myself out of the car and couldn't get in, so I had to break this window. When we got going, we realized that this wasn't gonna go the way we wanted to. There was a lot of trees, a lot of cars and zombies. We knew that this was gonna be a bumpy ride. It wasn't good at all. We got stuck and had to get out to kill the zombies. We were panicking hard, even Keith was worried. Ever so often we would get stuck without a wheel, and we just panicked. I also bruised my broken leg, which didn't help with the panic at all. After waiting so much for a car, our wish didn't exactly go to plan. It was getting dark, so I parked the car and we cleared some zombies. And decided that we're gonna take a break or we're gonna lose it. We had dinner, I read the mechanics beginner's book, cleared another wave of zombies, and because of the pain I couldn't sleep again, so I used that time to read some more until I finally could and went to sleep. On day 4 I woke up a bit late. I wanted to finish my book in the morning, but that got dragged. But then we had breakfast, sardines, and tried to loot these cars in front of us. This was leading to nothing. There was no way I could go somewhere with a car. Everything is blocked. I looted some stuff and made my way back to the houses. Day 5 started with realizing that Keith was gone again. I thought, oh, he's just gonna come back eventually. I looted this house for some food and waited for Keith. There was no sign of him. I tried looking for a different car again and take a different road this time. I actually managed to get this Mustang working. I had to leave immediately. I'm hoping we can see Keith. I don't know what happened. This road was so much easier to drive on, and I found this fire truck that I took so I can clear out the cars that were on the road. I marked where I left my Mustang and was on my way again, and this part was tricky again. I found this what looked like a prison, but this alarm was going on. I panicked and I tried turning it off but couldn't. The zombies were swarming me, so I had to make a run for it. I barely got away, got back into my truck and moved on. It was difficult, but I moved bit by bit until I came to this park. There were a lot of zombies that I needed to clear. I was exhausted, tired, my leg was bleeding. Finally, after clearing all of them, I decided I'm gonna take some vitamins and read before going to sleep. I woke up pretty early since I fell asleep early, so I decided to read up until sunup. Then I continued my journey forward. I abandoned my truck and moved on to this new car where I saw this farm on the side. I decided to pull over to check it out. Maybe it will have something useful. I cleared some zombies to reach this shed that had a generator and found this house next to the shed. I cleared all of the zombies inside. Then I went to check out the other house, and in here I met Blair. She was killing some zombies, so I decided I wanted her in my squad. Also, I hate being alone. It's scary. Together we cleared this house, looted things, and decided to stop exploring here, to read my books and to go to bed. Day 7 started as usual. I read some more until dawn, had breakfast, and then headed out to search another house. In here we met Samantha. She was dressed in an army outfit, so I guess she will be useful. She also had this weird walk, and so I decided to give her a medical check before letting her in our squad. But she was clear. We cleared the house and moved on closer. I have an idea where I want to go to start setting up our base of operations, but as my leg was still broken, we had to go slow up until I heard something strange. Yep, that was the sound of a helicopter. Now I've read that means we're in big trouble. All of the zombies were heading for us. I was panicking through the roof. We were in the middle of nowhere without a car. I can't run. It's almost dark out and there's potentially a swarm of zombies that can attack us from all sides. I was checking every car, trying to find us a way out until this one car actually had a key inside. It was almost empty, so I filled it a little bit and we were on our way, hopefully finding somewhere safe. And I don't know if you've noticed, but Samantha appears to be left stuck sitting in that car. She either died without me realizing or went her own way. I somehow completely forgot about her because of the sheer panic that I was in. I have to make sure that doesn't happen anymore. After Keith, I genuinely can't take it anymore. It was a hard road up ahead, but at least we were somewhat safe. We managed to go through some pretty big hordes until we happened to drive by our first house that we decided to stay the night. We were not happy, satisfied or safe, but it was getting dark. So we cleared the house and started barricading all of the windows. Also, I put Blair on guard duty in front while I read some books. I only got some reading done before feeling really tired, so I went to sleep. On day 8, I decided I was gonna spend the whole day here waiting for the helicopter move on for good. We had food and water, so I spent the entire day just reading. Day 9, we started with grabbing some food and going our way. Honestly, I should have waited for one more day, but I thought that we were close to something. The road ahead was awful. There were many times where I had to struggle really hard to get through, and that led to our car breaking down. Luckily though, because of that one day of rest, I managed to learn how to hotwire a car and managed to do it on my very first try. I was lost at this point. I always glanced at the map, but I took a wrong turn and just ended up in a very scary place. We came to a full stop in the middle of a very dense forest. We decided to continue on foot, thinking that we are close to the destination, not knowing that I actually took a wrong turn. I should have continued going straight and then took a right, but I went here. Things got even worse when I tried to pry open a car. Not only did I fail miserably, I also was extremely tired from that attempt. I thought this was it. We managed to get into another car and the zombies started swarming us. We were lucky this time, very lucky. I hotwired this car and we got it working. I was very confused. I was making my way through a very dense forest, and this time with a car. We stopped and found these small houses where I found some really good loot, like camo outfits and large backpack, but it was getting dark and I'm tired. We should really get a move on. But the worst thing in the world happened. Some random car alarms started going off. A nightmare. Instead of choosing to run when I had the chance, I was greedy for some loot. I went searching for more and more until it was too late. A giant swarm came right for us, and I was extremely tired and couldn't hit a single one. I also took 2 duffel bags on me, so I was very heavy. I tried getting into the car, but that failed. I also swinged and missed and I was scratched. Luckily, I somehow started making rounds to escape them, and without even paying attention to Blair, I got in my car with the intention of driving away as fast as possible. But on the corner of my eye, I saw her, fighting for her life. So I had no choice. I used the car to kill as much of them as possible, knowing full well that if the car breaks down, I'm dead. Somehow we managed to kill just enough of them to let Blair get back into the car, and we made a run for it. I healed up, organized my inventory, and we took a very needed rest. On day 10, we were awoken by 3 zombies surrounding our car. I killed them with my car and I checked if Blair was bitten, because if she was, it wouldn't end well, but thankfully she wasn't. We were now on our way to our brand new house, or what should be our brand new house. This is where we needed to go straight. We didn't have any problems on the road, we switched cars and made our way to the farm, and here we were. This is what's actually our very first shelter. We cleared the zombies that were here, and Blair started barricading while I took out the corpses and cleaned the vegetation around the house to make us feel better. I also found this box with a lot of books, so that's gonna be very useful. The plan is to transform this whole farm into our safe place, so we would tear down this house or transform it as some sort of a shelter, while building all of the other buildings next to it. We spent that day working on the house a bit and reading. I was studying aiming. On day 11, I decided I'm gonna take a chill day and I won't do anything but reading, eating and drinking. It was a good day because I leveled up my aiming skills to level 4. So next plan is to check out this whole plot and clear it out. I woke up and for the very first time in 12 days I can say that my foot has completely healed and I can take off my splint. I then checked out this place, cleared a few zombies, laid some plans on what I want to do, and I definitely want to improve these fences as there are a couple of holes in them. There are sheds for animals, but I don't actually know if we're gonna need these. It was time we went around and checked out what's in the vicinity. This road was blocked, so we continued on foot. There were some zombies, but we handled them easily. Me and Blair are a well-working team by now. We've been together for days now. We searched this house and then we met Ian. He seemed pretty chill. He had a badminton racket as his weapon and I liked his enthusiasm. We went back to our car and I've noticed that I've got really tired from that really quick trip. And that gave me knowledge that I need to work out a little bit before going to the big city, which was our plan for tomorrow. So when I got home, I prepared for the trip by leaving my books and all of the useless stuff in my bedside table, and then spent the entire day reading and working out. I started the day with my regular reading. I was pretty scared to go on this big trip, but excited at the same time. I washed everything and we were on our way. I was feeling a tad bit depressed, but hey, life moves on. We got into the car and made our way towards the city. The road trip seemed to be going perfectly until this happened. Yep, I straight up crashed, but this was far from our only horror. As we got out, this small group of zombies was here, and while I was killing a zombie, Blair got into a fight with two zombies, and Ian decided to run away, leaving her to die. I actually couldn't believe it. I was sad and angry, and I wanted to leave Ian on his own, to let him get out of our group. He was such a coward, running away like that, leaving Blair to just die. Ugh. But on the second thought, I decided to be a bigger man and not say anything to him, not react, but to continue on our journey. I also put Blair's corpse inside this car so we can give her a proper burial. We moved along trying to find another car to continue our road trip. Searching this house, we found nothing. We needed a car badly, and there was not one in sight. We were walking and walking but couldn't find anything. From 10 AM we were without a car and it was getting up to 4 PM. And based on the experiences yesterday, I was scared that I might get tired and if we get attacked then and Ian runs away, I might die. I didn't feel comfortable with him at all. How could I be? We found this small food shop. I grabbed some fruits and veggies and then decided to sleep out in this van. I told Ian to keep guard, which he didn't do. I still got attacked. But even worse than that is that I woke up at midnight, which means my sleep schedule is completely screwed up. I took up reading until almost 6 AM before starting to get going. We continued on our quest to the city, and we could tell that we were getting close to the city since there were a lot more zombies on our way. And with zombies came cars. We took this jeep and it had a key inside. We switched that car because it broke to this small one. I took a wrong turn. Yes, again. And instead of going into the city, we were on the outskirts. And I thought that there was gonna be a left turn somewhere, so I just continued straight. This small car was now broken too. We were looking for another one, and as I was entering this one, the alarm went off. We were in a really bad situation here. Zombies were everywhere. It was dark. I was just checking every car I could. There was this moment where I found this bike and it had a key inside so I could just drive away. I mean, I thought about it. After everything, it seemed to me that I was justified to do this. But at the second thought, I said I'm not this kind of a person. And I called Ian and he was here. We were in this together. We made our way together. But even I didn't see this next thing coming. A group came towards us, a lot of them together. Ian seemed in trouble, so as I went to save him, he ran away. Again. And I was scratched. I was extremely lucky. Even saying extremely was putting it mildly. Ian was just running away. In this moment, I got so angry that I went to the bike with the full intention of driving straight off, leaving him in here. But a giant horde was there. I almost died getting close to that bike, so I had to run. I looked back to see where Ian was, but sadly, just on the corner of my eye, I saw him. The crowd got to him. Honestly, I would be lying if I said I didn't feel relief. I always expected him to come towards me, to help me, but the help never came. I would rather be alone instead of someone only pretending to help. I went back to make sure, and yes, there was a large group eating him. I had to move on, just trying to forget the whole thing. I was already heavily depressed. I needed to try and fix myself first. I found this old car and just drove away. Reaching this container, I realized that the road extended further than the town and I needed to go back. I kinda felt like this was all my mistake. I cleared the zombies with my car, found an axe in this container and went to sleep. On day 15, I woke up at almost 1 AM. I couldn't sleep. My sleep schedule is completely screwed up. I am severely depressed and I don't know if I'm gonna make it. As I started going towards the town by myself, I've lost all hope for life. I had nothing but horrible times. Not a single day of deserved rest where I can say that I've earned it. To make matters worse, on my way back up this same road, I saw Ian. In my head, there was no way that he would have survived in this harsh reality of today. He was a very weak man, untrained. I somehow think that I did him a favor and killed a zombie. I also stumbled across this bike, and if I was going to survive in the city on my own, I needed one of these. This will give me the ability to move quicker, but I had to kill this horde around it. And this bike was amazing. I was so much quicker just moving around the cars and zombies. I was finally in town and ready to head straight towards the police station. There was a huge group of zombies there, camping. At first I thought I can take them, but then this car alarm went off, making things 100 times tougher. So I escaped to this parking lot and killed a few of them. And then I launched a horn so the zombies get distracted while I go in and loot the police station, which surprisingly worked. In here I found a bunch of ammo, guns, gear, but I was kind of overwhelmed to what to take, so I grabbed a vest, this American helmet and a Glock, some magazines and ammo for it. Trying it out for the very first time was strange, but I immediately loved it. Too bad I don't have that much ammo or a rifle to just clear all of them out. I didn't want to attract a lot of zombies, so I just went on. I needed food but found this library instead. I cleared the zombies, grabbed a few books and marked this library on the map so I know next time I'm in town. Quest for food got a lot more complicated than it should. A giant horde was moving there and even with my best efforts I couldn't take them on. I barely escaped a few times and said that it's not worth the risk. I escaped through this forest and checked every car until I found this jeep that worked. I drove a little bit outside of town to this little house, cleared the zombies with my car since I was tired, and these 2 weeks have been really hard. I didn't get the chance to sit once. I was in constant action, not to mention how difficult it was when Blair died. And the situation with Ian, I was depressed and there was no going around it. I didn't say, but in the library before I found some antidepressants. At first I wasn't gonna take them, but then I realized that there's a chance I don't come out of this sane. So I took them and then I went to sleep. On day 16 I must be the heaviest sleeper in the world because I was awakened by 4 zombies surrounding my car. I killed them with my car again and cleared this restaurant and finally got some fresh food. It was amazing. I have to say, it seems like the antidepressants worked. I feel a lot happier and hopeful I can persevere this horrible situation. My plan right now is to get my bike back and loot the rest of the town, since we need a lot of supplies to bring back home. Also, it would be good if we could clear some of the town up. That would be nice, and that was the plan, until I saw this. This was insane. The plan has completely changed. I barely squeezed through the sheer amount of zombies that were here. It was insane. There was no way in hell I can do this alone, without any guns and almost a broken machete. So I decided to dip out, get back home, rest, try and build something, and try to get ready to get here and loot this entire town. The trip back home was good, I had no issues. I ran out of fuel on my bike, so I had to run towards the house. I was so happy seeing my home again. I felt good and satisfied I made it back. I lost more than I gained, but I also gained a lot of experience of what it's like going to towns. The house felt empty. There was no one here but me, all alone. Again, I didn't bring anything to eat, so I didn't have much. I immediately started reading and I was so excited that I at least found some books, and then I went to sleep. This day started right. With a really nice shower, I cleaned myself, all of my clothes which were bloody, I dropped all of my items that I had and went downstairs to see that I almost don't have anything left to eat. It seems to me that we might need to start cooking. I then knew that my job for the next couple of days is improving the house, so I started chopping trees around the house. I wanted to make a driveway and also lay some concrete around my house. After I got tired, I started reading again since I didn't have anything else to do. I then ate and went straight back to reading and then slept. Day 18 started with me going straight to laying the foundation for my driveway. I didn't do much before I was dying of hunger and was tired, so I went to read, until I saw someone screaming for some food. It was a guy named Andrew. He came into my house and scared the living shit out of me. I invited him to my group and gave him some water. Too bad we don't have any food right now, but we will have to go search for it soon. I was kinda scared of Andrew, to be honest, but I was sick and tired of being alone. I finished the day with some reading and went to bed. On day 19 I started with some exercise. Yesterday I saw that I'm extremely out of shape, and that is keeping me from actually building up my base as I want to. I did that one exercise and I was already too tired to do anything else. I had to sleep again. I made some breakfast and improved our storage area. I just need to remove this table to make this work, but for that I need a screwdriver. And I also threw out this corpse and finished the day by removing grass inside the house so the house feels a lot more homey. On day 20 I started with the exercise and going and finishing my driveway. I laid concrete all the way to the dirt track. I also made this parking area for what will eventually be my car. I also went around the house removing trees that are next to my house as I want to lay concrete on the side. But I was too tired to continue, so I went around removing vines from the inside of the house. And then I took a midday nap and went back to laying concrete again. I managed to do it all the way around the house except this one side, which made me really proud and happy. For the first time in these 20 days I feel like I've achieved something. I then went back to my room, read a little bit and went to bed early to maybe fix my sleep schedule. And that was it. My 20 days barely survived. From a lot of fighting to making friends and to losing all of those friends, it does seem to me like we found peace at the end. But how do we survive the next 3 weeks? Can we do it? Can we actually loot that city and improve our base? Bring even more people in? Well, you'll have to watch the next video for that. But if you enjoyed this one, make sure you leave a like and comment because it helps me with the algorithm. Also subscribe so you don't miss out on the next episode. And I will see you guys in the next one.